Today on the Topic Show, Elon Musk passes 200 million followers on X Twitter. Tim Walz signed a law that allowed abortion up to birth and to not help a baby if it is unintentionally delivered. This is going viral yet again. Kamala Harris goes viral in her response when she's asked, should people stand for the national anthem? Teens steal a car, crash into a home, nearly killing people, only to be released with simple citations. Amazon to hire 250,000 workers for the holiday season. Stellantis sales drop yet again. And Cybertruck has their 5th recall. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I say their founder at least twice a day. I gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business problem podcast, you have Amazon to hire 250,000 workers for the upcoming holiday season as we plummet ourselves into more credit card debt. Well, not me, but most Americans. As, first time in history past $1 trillion in credit card debt, which, granted, I understand some people, circumstances come up in emergencies and they put on the credit card, but, I mean, I would love to see the pie chart and breakdown of how much does this add just crap you don't need, but I partially digress. Now, appropriately enough, this comes with thanks to Amazon. And it's actually an appropriate website called aboutamazon.com. Makes sense. And this is written by Sandy Gordon, who's a VP of Global Operations Employee Experience. And there you can see this, I don't want to say this employee looks unusually happy, but this person looks quite excited to start their job. But now they say specifically they're hiring 250,000 people across the U.S. as it heads into the holiday season. And there you can see a gentleman is standing. He's got the little safety uniform. But they have his employee badge showing with his name, which, not to be paranoid, well, I guess, being in cybersecurity, you get a little paranoid. The fact that they just have the format of the badge, maybe it's a fake one, but it doesn't seem like a prudent decision to me, but they probably have exceptional security at Amazon. Nothing will ever go bad there. It's funny because inherently anything, eventually something will go bad darn near everywhere, but I partially digress. And they say, quote, all seasonal employees will earn at least $18 per hour, or the government steals a lot of it. I added that part. And have access to benefits like healthcare from the first day on the job, which that is pretty darn good. First day on the job? Holiday, and they say, quote, holiday season is always an exciting place for Amazon and our customers. It's a time where we create a lot of new jobs for people who want to earn extra money for the few months or kick off a career at Amazon. This year, we're hiring, again, 250,000 full-time, part-time, and seasonal roles across the customer fulfillment and transportation operations of the U.S., and we're excited to welcome new teammates to the company. We're also looking forward to welcoming back many familiar faces. Each season, we see many individuals come back year over year as part of the holiday season here at Amazon. In fact, nearly 1/3 of people who have worked at Amazon during the holiday season come again. Whatever someone's personal circumstances might be, Amazon has the opportunity for many of them. Well, I added the many. They say them. The details vary depending on the role, but all the jobs offer great pay, flexible schedules, access to a range of benefits. For those joining us, full-time roles, benefits include healthcare from the first day at Amazon and education programs like Career Choice, where we'll prepay tuition for our teammates to earn college degrees, certificates, helping them build their careers for a long term, whether with us or with another company. Which, you got some extra cliche stock pictures of them working in those warehouses, which, in terms of having a job to hustle, that is a high, intense work environment. Build a lot of character there, which I would say most Americans especially desperately need. And they say, quote, we're investing $2.2 billion into additional pay for our fulfillment and transportation employees, bringing the average total compensation to more than $29 per hour when you include the value of their added elected benefits, which, another issue in the United States that is really expensive. Got the worst of both worlds with the government getting their nose in there. They say seasonal employees who stay at the company to see the average pay increase 15% over the first 3 years with us. They say, in addition to some benefits above, Amazon also provides employees with access to earn pay at any time, health, vision, dental insurance, first day of job, 401k with company match. Really nice. Up to 20 weeks of paid, maternal leave, or they call it parental pregnancy leave now, for birth parents, which sounds awkward. I mean, just parents? I digress. 6 weeks for eligible supporting parents, an Amazon resource for living program, a free benefit to offering mental health and financial services for support. Everyone there. There you can see another very proud employee, which for a second I thought George Lucas was falling on hard times, or maybe he's just so depressed by how much Disney has destroyed his intellectual property that he resulted to looking at Amazon warehouse just to feel that rush of living again. But no, it's actually just an average gentleman with a little Amazon vest on, and presumably an Amazon T-shirt under the lapel there. I can't see it right there. But yeah, Q4. I mean, they call it back in black. I mean, Black Friday's a thing. I mean, on the old ledgers when you used to have physical paper for a lot. Well, I guess some small businesses might use that, but yeah, red is negative, so the company's losing money. Black is positive, so profitable. And yeah, Q4 should be. Well, I was gonna say it better be for economy needs it. But yeah, I can't imagine. Actually, we'll have a little fun here. Let's pull up the good old Grok or Grok. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the X Twitter AI. Which how much money will U.S. consumers spend for Xmas this year? What's the estimate? What are you thinking? I mean, Amazon's spending 2.2 billion to support this, so I'm guessing it's gonna be trillions. What is it? Okay, so geez Louise. The holidays, this again from the Extra AI Grok. And so how much money will consumers spend for Xmas? They say online spending. The holiday shopping season from November 1st to December 31st, 2024 is projected to see online sales reach a record of approximately $240.8 billion, marking an 8.4% increase from the previous year. That indicates a strong trend towards e-commerce as a substantial increase with people buying via mobile devices as well, which granted you also have inflation, so it might chisel away at that increase, maybe artificially skew it a little bit. But yeah, even with even when most people are hurting, barely making ends meet, it looks like they're still gonna presumably rack up credit card debt for this, which I really hope they don't, especially for Christmas gifts. I mean, just I don't know, maybe old fashioned, but something that's homemade or coming from the heart, it means a lot more to some piece of junk you buy on Amazon. Which, let's be honest, on average, the products you buy there are mostly disposable junk you will never need again in your life. Which that's why I'm part of the 1% of Americans. Not fiscally speaking, not income, but I think I'm part of the 1% of Americans that do not have Amazon Prime rebelling. Plus, it's like gambling. You don't know when your stuff is going to arrive when you need your protein whey, or could be a couple days. Maybe you'll beat the estimator, which is probably I don't know if that's. Oh, I so rarely frequently buy things on Amazon. It's definitely when you compare that to gambling, or maybe it's a boring gambling to some folks to guess when their package is going to arrive. But I partially digress. It's pretty impressive. They're going to hire so many people, and it's great news because again, a lot of people do need some jobs, especially this time of the year. And I mean, just yesterday, talked about how CVS was laying off some of their employees as well. So maybe they'll be able to find gainful employment at Amazon, and hopefully they'll be able to help some people during these hard times. And yeah, that's just as a testament to how much Amazon has grown. They're I mean, 250,000 people for Q4. That is astronomical. And when you have granted increases in population, e-commerce, just proliferating exponentially. I mean, I can't help but think this trend is going to accelerate more and more throughout time. Though granted, not financial advice, although, geez Louise. Wish I bought Amazon stock decades ago. I love my Honda Civic Si, I really do, but I'm not saying I wouldn't own it. I would have an additional vehicle in the hypothetical garage if I were to have bought Amazon back in the day. But let me know, do you think the other, competitors like Walmart are going to have, Walmart online, it's all right. I've used it once or twice. It's growing a little bit, but do you think they'll even be a 1/10% in terms of the increase in hiring? And granted, they do have brick and mortar, so you can use some physical employees here as well. But do you think, that'd be a good question for the comments, do you think we'll hire more people for the holiday season? Will it be Walmart or Amazon? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, or rather business news, though, for how big the EPA is kneecapping all these car companies, you could argue it's political. But, well, you have Stellantis, while other sales are dropping yet again. Now, Stellantis is, not a very inspiring name, but it is a name, the conglomerate that owns what used to be the great brands of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, as well as the other known brands like Maserati. You also have, what is the other one? Fiat. And it's actually one of the largest companies in terms of the number of brands they own, mostly Italian. But yeah, in terms of the US market, realistically, it was what Chrysler used to be. And yeah, their sales and profits are crashing like a Boeing airplane, or many of the vehicles GM makes, or Stellantis makes for that matter. Now this comes from thanks to Michael Wayland, who's a writer at CNBC, saying, quote, Stellantis U.S. auto sales extend free for all in third quarter. They say, quote, Stellantis reported U.S. sales of only 305,294 units from July to September, geez Louise, 19.8 decrease from the third quarter in 2023. I mean, just for the novelty, maybe I should have a pin on the show so I can maybe see if we can hear it drop with this microphone. But that's a pin drop. Sales are down basically 20%. Now, hilariously enough, one of my neighbors actually did just buy a Stellantis product. They got, what was it, the Dodge Hornet, which partially because it's discounted all to hell because, well, they have to. Very few people are buying them. I still give my buddy a little bit, give him a little crap about that. But overall, I've known one person buy a Stellantis product in the past 3 years. And I have had friends buying different, automotive products through that same time period. They also say, quote, Stellantis disappointing sales, the latest problem this week for the car maker, which will cut their 2024 profit margin. Yeah, that's not good. Here you can see one of the most iconic brands, Jeep, which, I mean, that is a testament of building a brand. Those things are so unreliable, yet people still buy them. Like, it's going to break down. And I love the fact that you still can get it with a third pedal, also known as a stick shift and manual transmission, which all cars should be by default anyway. But the fact that people still, it's almost like the Chicago Bears. They suck, like Chicago. But you keep telling yourself, they'll be good next year. And people still buy tickets and they still buy Jeeps. That is just the testament of building a brand throughout time. So I actually do partially admire that from the Jeep perspective, and probably one of the few things I actually do sell these days in the Stellantis portfolio. Now, they say, quote, U.S. vehicle sales continue to be a year-long free fall during the third quarter, despite CEO Carlos Tavares' attempts to correct what he's called arrogant mistakes, which also another mistake, killing. Oh, yeah, don't even get me started on Dodge, how they bastardized that brand. New Charger's going to be an EV or a straight 6 engine, which, again, when you're buying a Charger or a Challenger, you buy it because you want some American muscle. You want a V8, presumably a Hemi with a stick shift. And yet they thought, oh yeah, we're making EVs. Muscle car drivers will love that. Well, I mean, no, they'll probably buy a Ford Mustang, which is, by default, they won the pony war because it's the only one that has been, throughout history, discontinued multiple times or turned into an amalgamation of a different engine and a different, just a soulless machine. Well, yeah, partially digress. They say, quote, the transatlantic car maker reported U.S. sales were down, 20%. Now, Stellantis was expected to be the worst sales performer of the major automakers during the third quarter. Auto industry forecaster Cox Automotive had projected sales decline of roughly 21% for the car maker. Cox and fellow forecaster Edmunds expected third quarter sales industry-wide to be down 2% compared to a year earlier. Though Stellantis said its initiatives to boost sales and correct past mistakes are starting to pay off, which, again, I do have that example of one neighbor ordering one vehicle and asked from them. So that's, and again, the reason they did it because it had a lot of features, but they discounted the hell out of it. I think the list price was like $43,000. They got it down to like $30,000. Like, it was ridiculously good, which, granted, it also shows you it's not priced appropriately to begin with, another issue they have. But yeah, I was so surprised they bought a Dodge. It's the Dodge Hornet SUV, which, but nevertheless, Matt Thomas, is head of Stellantis U.S. sales, says, quote, we'll continue to take necessary actions to drive sales and prepare our dealer network and consumers for the arrival of 2025 models. Yeah, those Dodge Chargers, they'll be going up. Those are going to be selling like hotcakes. You won't be able to keep them on the lot. No, I can't. Again, I'm not a gambling man. I'm not saying to invest with this financial advice, but in terms of, I think the dealerships are going to hate that. They're already suing the company because, I mean, the brands, the profits are dwindling to nothing. I can't but think those things could collect more dust on a lot than a product that historically never sold anything. That's a good question. A good funny pun I could insert here. You're going to collect more dust on a lot. The awkward silence. I try to look around the room for inspiration, but I don't buy things that don't, move a lot of units, so to say. And granted, most of the things it solves are antiquated, like a typewriter and a gumball machine. So, not a lot of reference cases I can see. Perhaps a good use case would be like the iPhone 16, which has been pretty slow to sell. So, it was a long, long journey to get to that metaphor, but I got there. You could argue that the metaphor journey was as reliable as the Stellantis product itself. Reliability pun. They don't have it. Now, they say, quote, all Stellantis brands except for the niche Fiat unit experienced sales declines in its third quarter, led by more than 40% reductions for Chrysler and Dodge, which Chrysler, to the credit of that statistic, they only have one thing left. It's like Pacifica, the big van, which that used to be one of the best-selling vans out there. I mean, and then you have the Dodge Caravan, which is the same thing with different, logos slapped onto it. But yeah, 40% reductions for Chrysler and Dodge. Its Ram truck brand recorded roughly a 19% fall, while Jeep was off by about 6% year over year, which, again, despite the unreliability, the Jeep is still doing, again, especially compared to the other portfolio, still doing pretty good. Which, yeah, wow, the stock dropped that much. So it looks like now it's down to 13 per share. Yeah, look at that. So it looks like when did it top out? So let's see. Wow, about half a year. Peaked around $29 per share, and that's crashed down like a Boeing airplane. Ouch. Look at that stock chart. That's painful. I didn't invest in that company. Jeez Louise. Then you can see the other lines. You see Ford and GM, which I give GM a lot of crap for making, not a lot of exciting cars, reliable cars. Still love the Cadillac CT4 and CT5V Blackwing series. Love to have those. Ballistic shifts optional. Yeah, if I won lottery, I'd buy one of those immediately. Corvette, yeah, it's got 2 pedals. It's trash to me. Now, yeah, so you see GM's doing pretty good, and then Ford, they're still doing pretty good as well. Again, Ford's going down a little bit, but yeah, compared to Stellantis, just look at that comparison chart. That's rough. Now they say, quote, Stellantis' third quarter sales are the latest problem for the car maker, while its customers' 2024 profit margin forecast and has been hit with a recall involving the plug-in hybrid Jeep models due to fire risk, which, yeah, they do that. Let's talk about the company's stock is, just going off of a cliff, basically. They say, quote, U.S. sales for Stellantis, formerly Fiat Chrysler, has declined every year since the recent peak of 2.2 million units in 2018. The company sold more than 1.5 million vehicles last year, roughly a 1% decline from 2022, when it reported a significant drop of 13% from the previous year. Ouch. Stellantis' performance compares to overall U.S. New truck vehicle sales increased 13% last year, according to federal data, which can't help but think that's going to go down because guess what they killed? Yep, the good old V8 for the Dodge Ram 1500. Now it's going to come with a straight 6 with turbos, which truck owners don't like that. Truck owners like engines that are bigger and don't have to work as hard. Ford and GM, they still listen to consumers. They still make good old trucks with V8 engines. Now if you want a V8 Dodge, you're forced to upgrade to the 2500 series or the 3500 series for the Rams. So I can't help but think, if I were to guess how this, and they also canceled the Ram Classic truck as well. So I can't help but think, yeah, the truck sales are going to decrease, which is especially bad because when you look at the profit margins of these companies, the most important things are SUVs and trucks because that's usually traditionally where the most profit are. It doesn't help this company is also pushing EVs, which for most companies will lose money for quite some time before ever making a profit. So yeah, more bad news for Stellantis, and can they turn things around? I can't help but think, if I were a gambling man, no, I don't see. Their portfolio has way too many vehicles. They clearly cannot manage all of them. And even though they're trying to decrease costs by consolidating to a single engine, in terms of the majority of the vehicles are now going to use the straight 6 or the inline 6 engine with twin turbo, it's still, I don't think it's enough to turn the company around. And with the U.S. market, it's extremely competitive. And yeah, it just isn't what it used to be. And I don't really conceivably see their path forward at this moment. And again, anecdotally speaking, I know one person who's bought one of the vehicles partially because it's discounted to all hell. So, let me know in the comments, do you know anyone who's bought a Dodge or a Stellantis, any of those vehicles the past couple of years? And then if you want, let's say you need a new car today, or a new SUV, a new truck, whatever, would you buy one of the vehicles? Or would you buy something manufactured by competition? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Going over to the Culture Part podcast, you have Elon Musk passing 200 million users on X Twitter. Although, another question in the comments, do you call it X or do you call it Twitter? Now, this is as more and more people say, the platform is dead, there's barely anyone on it, which got rid of a lot of bots, so maybe the number of actual interactions posted decreased, but, anecdotally, I've been seeing more and more folks, and I've gained more and more followers. Not to brag, but I do have more than, 400 followers now. Hashtag The Topping Show, where you can see all my funny, whimsical comments throughout the days. And I'd say they're mildly entertaining if you have some downtime. Now, this comes to us thanks to Tara Bull on the good old X Twitter, which she says, quote, breaking, Elon Musk just reached 200 million followers. Remember when they said X was dead? They lied. And a picture with Elon Musk in his profile. It looks like Elon Musk also follows 771 people. He's got 169 subscribers, which, with his fascinating with funny numbers, I'm surprised he doesn't ask people to subscribe to him until he gets to 420 paid subscribers for his profile, which, I mean, he did that price point for Tesla for the stock price just for the LOLs, the L's. I partially digress, but yeah, I got 200 million followers. This post got about 500,000 views, 4,000 likes, and yeah, you got, let's see here, you got strategically read saying the #1 news app is not even close to slowing down, getting 64 likes. We also have Mr. Freeman said Elon should start a course on how to get followers, getting 11 likes. Their bold response saying, what? The #1, don't be afraid to stand apart from the crowd, getting 25 likes. American Papa Bear says, quote, X is the future, getting 8 likes. Got AI generated picture of Elon with the big numbers, X 200 million followers, getting 52 likes. Elon Eagleman says, congratulations, Elon, quite the feat, getting 22 likes. Yeah, AI picture of Elon Musk and Donald Trump standing next to a red pill or a rocket that's in the shape of a red pill, getting 9 likes. Let's see. Will Happen 4 says, congratulations, Elon. The man is admired and respected throughout the world for his leadership, intelligence, and vision. Loves seeing recognition for a man fulfilling his purpose to help mankind in many years. Getting 3 likes. You also have CMMM, Corrupt Mainstream Media, says that mainstream media lied about X and Elon Musk because they're terrified it'll replace them. True. You see a track picture of is it Usain Bolt? But he's a gentleman running track and he's got the X logo on him. Then he's ahead of all the competition. They're enabled the mainstream media, getting 4 likes. Let's see here. See if we can actually pull up his profile real quick. Wow, he also says 8 billion daily video views on the platform, apparently. Let's dive into that tomorrow. Yeah, go to his profile. He's got 200 million. It'll probably be 201 by the time this video is rendered and uploaded. But yeah, pretty impressive to say the least. It'll be interesting to see how many more people get on the platform. I'm actually surprised that like when you sign up for it, I'm surprised it's not like a default where they just make you follow him just immediately, kind of like how Tom was everyone's first friend on MySpace, which certainly does age me a little bit or date me a little bit. But let me know. I mean, anecdotally speaking, I mean, more and more people I know are starting to utilize X Twitter. But let me know in the comments. I mean, do you even check on it every day? I mean, do you have the app on your phone? And is there a compelling reason why you do or do not? Or what's your favorite part of the platform? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have teens stealing a car, crashing into a home, and nearly killing a family, but they're just simply released with simple citations, apparently. Which, yep, also shows you about modern society and how, reinforces the cliche that Maryland is just lawlessness. Now let's go to those thanks to Libs of TikTok, which she says, quote, 4 teens in Maryland stole a car and then crushed it into a truck, which subsequently smashed into the home, nearly killing the family. All the teens were then released from custody after only receiving citations. That's why crime is down, which, yeah, never forget when they talk about, oh yeah, crime is down. Well, that's because major corrupt cities like San Francisco, New York City, I mean, they admitted this, they're not submitting their data to the FBI anymore. So yeah, that's why U.S. crime is down statistically, because they're not giving the data anymore. And you also have people who live in places like San Francisco where, I mean, you see street interviews where they say, oh yeah, we don't bother to call the cops anymore because they don't do anything. That's one way to skew the numbers, but not too much further ado. It's only about 3 minutes, but I think it's an important thing. It's one of those viral things, culturally speaking, recently as well.
An Anne Arundel County homeowner calls for accountability after police say 4 juveniles in a stolen car crashed into his home while his family was asleep. All 4 suspects were released to their parents, something the homeowner calls unacceptable.
Tonight, Fox 45's Jessica Babb has an update on that investigation.
You can still see the aftermath out here after police say teens stole a car, that car then crashing into a truck, the truck then plowing into the home. You can even see these car parts out here on the sidewalk still. And if you take a look at the home, it's now been boarded up and you can see that blue tarp. I talked with a homeowner earlier today and he says someone could have been killed and says when it comes to the teens in the car, there need to be more consequences for the crime. On the corner of Church Street in Brooklyn, with wooden boards going up and car parts still scattered around. Lamond Brown and his family are now without their home.
Our whole lives are in there, so right now we're going to a hotel, but I don't know.
Police say this damage was caused by 4 teens caught in a stolen car.
Like, you don't got nothing better to do on a school night. My whole family was at risk. And I mean, that just makes me even madder.
And while the teens ended here, they started just down the street on Cram Avenue. Police say around 2:50 Friday morning, they got a call about someone tampering with a car.
I jumped up awake to my sister screaming that her car was being broken into and we need to come outside.
A car belonging to Noah Lander's family.
They broke in with the screwdriver to get the ignition out, but we had just got the update on it about a month ago, so they weren't able to, so they
The Hyundai.
got back in and left.
And while he says they weren't successful stealing their car, police say when they got to Cram Avenue, they saw a black sedan leaving the area. Minutes later, that black sedan with 4 teens inside hitting a truck. The truck then plunging right through the doorway of Lamond Brown's home near his living room.
I don't know how fast they were going, but they were going really fast.
Brown says he fell asleep on the couch Thursday night, but woke up around 1 a.m. The crash happening less than 2 hours later.
I could have been gone. I could have been dead.
Emergency responders telling him his home, with his family and young kids sleeping upstairs, could have come crashing down.
We were all asleep in my room right when this happened. Like, my fiance, so all the weight was right there from all our body weight. So, and they hit the supports right below us. So if it would have came down, we'd have came down, been on top of the truck.
Police arrested 2 14-year-olds, one of which was driving, a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old. Police say the car they were driving was stolen. While all 4 of them were given juvenile citations, they were later sent home, released to their guardians.
They needed to spend a couple nights in jail, something. They need, even if they're not with the general population, they need something. There's no fear instilled in them. Like, they did it, and then they went home to their house that's not damaged.
While a spokesperson
I guarantee you those parents do not discipline the kids or spank their rear or use the belt.
from Anne Arundel County Police says the juveniles will still have to appear in court when notified. They couldn't tell me if any of these kids have had prior offenses. They say they don't have access to juvenile criminal history records.
If you get a tap on the wrist, you're going to do it again. Like, definitely needs to be more accountability.
Brown says
you got to keep the kids in check.
Officials say 5 people were taken to the hospital. And as for Brown, he says he's going to be dealing with these consequences day after day. He says it could be weeks or even up to a few months before he and his family can get back into their home. In Anne Arundel County, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
Another example of also the cultural decay of America. Kids stealing a car and causing a truck to ram into a house. Yeah, I can't but wonder what's the family makeup. Is it a single parent household? Are they just not disciplining their kids at all? I mean, there's a modicum of discipline instilled in these kids. There's no way they would do that. There's certain lines like you just don't cross if you're morally, you're brought up in a moral fashion. And stealing a car. And this went pretty viral. Got 2.1 million views. Got 61,000 likes. One of the first comments coming from Thick Eggshell saying, quote, "We did it, Jill. Finally, there's no more crime." Picture of Joe Biden, they're standing on the porch, the White House, and there's big fire behind him or in front of him. Got 93 likes. Though again, it's AI, so it's not real yet. Craig Chamberlain says, quote, "I've been trying to raise awareness to this. Also, crime is going down, crime is going up. The reporting on crime is going down. The dirty little secret is they legalize crime or raise the bar for what qualifies as so-called, so they don't get recorded, and therefore it gets reduced." True, getting 146 likes. Never forget, well, people also get what you vote for. California, they voted so that steal up to $950 is no longer a felony, it's a misdemeanor. And the way the public justice system works, it's a volume business, so they plead down to give you an incentive not to actually take to trial. That's another reason why there's fewer felonies in California. But yeah, you reclassified one of the major crimes as theft because you don't prosecute it. So yeah, that's why some of the crime rates are down. American Papa Bear says, quote, "Crime rates are down when you stop reporting crime rates." True, getting 217 likes. I'm not sure this is true because we don't have any pictures of the alleged, I'm going to say the alleged car thieves here. Libercat Media TM says teens, and it talks his old meme about black privilege, getting 310 likes. Got their Eagleman says, quote, "Exactly, they are hiding it and not reporting the actual crimes," getting 524 likes. Paul Zupa says Democrats are keeping the crime down by not charging criminals with the crimes they commit. See how this works, getting 429 likes. Base Electrician says the reason reported crime is down is the same reason actual crime is up. Criminals are emboldened when there's no repercussions or accountability. We're getting 33. Let's get 34 likes. See here. David Sullivan, what is it? Pronouns prosecute Fauci. Says blood is on Kamala's hands. And it's some little infographic, not infographic, little just picture with words on it. not a GIF or a meme, but nevertheless. So, quote, I've never seen a country work so hard to get rid of a president, but not illegal immigrants and drug dealers and child traffickers. Getting 125 likes. You gotta say that meme of the guy who has a puffy jacket on, saying no, and disappointing, says yeah, kind of thing. This is from Fight with Memes. Appropriate name if I've ever seen one, saying things are great, everything is great. And it's the guy's, it says stop crime, then it says stop, then another picture says stop reporting crime. They got 486 likes. Let's see here. Evil Texan says crime is down, crime reporting is down, getting 89 likes. See here. Phoenix 2A says teens, quote unquote, with a gif of Dr. Evil doing the quotation marks, getting 72 likes. But yeah, that's a good question. I mean, are they 18, 19? I mean, those are legal adults. The way they frame the situation is you think teen. I would say on average, most people are probably have the frame rate or the kind of mindset that they're going to guess around maybe 12, 13, 14 years old. That's not a good question. Is what is their specific ages for this? Will they actually be tried as adults or probably not because they're talking about juvenile? So maybe 17, 16? I don't know. Another question to be asked. Let's see here. Do one more. Grammy Jojo says LOL is the NPR guys. Well, NBC guys. But they all say crime is down. It's a picture of Kamala with them as well, getting 7 likes. Which, yeah, I can't help but think maybe more and more people started to wake up to the fact that they're misrepresenting these statistics and, giving it false data. And yeah, it was culturally definitely need to fix households in terms of, actually parenting kids and disciplining them. Because again, like, kids will always do dumb things. Most people will. We're human. But there's a big difference between dumb, childish behavior and breaking the law and stealing and then putting people's lives in danger. But let me know, what are your thoughts? Do you think these teens actually, having real repercussions? I mean, do you think they'll get any discipline at all? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Going over to the political part of the podcast, you have another bill going viral. You have Tim Walz that signed on this bill, became a law allowing abortion up to birth, and even if the baby is quote unquote accidentally born, they're allowed to not help it. Which, yeah, interesting how he dodged this question as well as the gun questions during the vice president debate. Because yeah, I did a fact check in real time when I actually covered the debate myself, and yeah, Minnesota, and again, it's a states' rights issue. People in Minnesota loved it, so they vote for it up to basically no restrictions. Now, granted, this happened in the past, but still going viral again. It's come to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, in which she says, quote, by the way, Tim Walz signed a law allowing abortion up to birth and allows doctors to leave the baby to die if they're born after a botched abortion, unquote. And we'll actually read the actual law right here, so she makes her life too easy. She even highlighted part of it. Now again, this is the bill is labeled Chapter 4, HEF1, an act related to health, establish a fundamental right to reproductive health, proposing code for new law in Minnesota statutes. It's Chapter 145, which, geez, that would be a boring book to read. I'm kidding, obviously, it's a government document. It says, be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Minnesota. I go down to subsection 5. It says, quote, local unit of government limitation. The local unit of government may not regulate an individual's ability to freely exercise the fundamental rights set forth in this section in a manner that is more restrictive than set forth in the other section. In which they say, well, we'll read the whole thing. So, subsection 1, short title. This title may be cited the Protect Reproduction Options Act. And it says, subsection 2, definition. For purposes of this section, reproductive health care means health care offered, arranged, or furnished for purposes of preventing pregnancy, terminating pregnancy, managing pregnancy loss, or improving material health and birth outcomes. Reproductive health care includes, but not limited to, contraception, sterilization, preconception care, maternity care, abortion care, family planning, fertility clinics, counseling regarding reproductive health care. To subsection 3, reproductive freedom, says every individual has the fundamental right to make autonomous decisions about the individual's own reproductive health, including the fundamental right to use or refuse reproductive health care. Every individual who becomes pregnant, it's funny they don't say women because they can't define what a woman is, has a fundamental right to continue the pregnancy, give birth, or obtain an abortion, and to make autonomous decisions about how to exercise that fundamental right. Yep. And again, the people voted for it. They're happy. Well, kids aren't, but yep. Here you go. See the close-up of the article as well. And there you can see this is from dailysignal.com. Mary Margaret Olson. He wrote, quote, under Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions were left to die. Then he removed reporting requirements, which, just like the crime statistics, interesting how you can fudge the numbers when you just don't input the proper data, which is one way to make it look in your favorable. Now this went moderately viral. Got 940,000 views as well as 11,000 likes. One of the first comments coming from Chuck Casello saying he's a liar, getting 194 likes. Libercat Media TM says the fakes you make when Chaya calls you out, which again, that's Mislibs of TikTok. And it's Tim Walz looking like a deer in the headlights at the VP debate, which, yeah, in terms of looking awkward, yeah, he definitely gets that trophy. Some might argue I'm in second place, but nevertheless, I mean, his deer in the headlights picture there is comically awkward. That got 128 likes. Cash Loren says Walz doesn't want voters to know about that, getting 11 likes, which, I mean, actually, I might just remove that like, because, I mean, his voters want that. That's why they voted for him. That's why Minnesota has that law, because a majority of the population wants it. And again, when you look at the Democrat Party, they had an abortion and sterilization, what do we call it, minibus outside the DNC in Chicago. Which, granted, some might argue just living in Chicago is, danger enough. But, I mean, it used to be safe, legal, and rare back in the day. It was the old Democrat, kind of mantra. I mean, now they just push for it and they brag about it. So, I actually don't think Dave Walz cares if this goes viral. I mean, abortion is one of the biggest things for the upcoming election, even though, again, it is a states' rights issue. I mean, nothing's going to change from a federal level, even if they lie to you and say they will. But I actually think he would want more people to know this. I also have David Sullivan, hashtag prosecute Fauci, saying Tampon's record is notorious. Says, get to know Governor Tim Walz. Thanks to the little infographic on him. It says, quote, put COVID-positive patients in nursing homes, support hormone blockers and gender transitions for children, anti-American energy, high taxes in Minnesota, supports open borders, sanctuary cities in Minnesota, signed a bill giving illegal immigrants licenses, soft on crime, defund police during the George Floyd riots. 9, violent crime in Minnesota up 21% since he became governor. Supported a burn and loot Summer of Love riots in Minneapolis. Gained 65 likes, and it says a far-left radical socialist. And you have a picture of him there as well. Let's see here. Dead President Show says, mind your own business was Walz's statements about abortion during the debate. Clorox injected it into little beating hearts of millions of babies. We are told to mind our own business. Getting 51 likes. Let's see. Burbank says Walz is sick. They all are. Vote Trump, getting 33 likes. Proud Patriot US says Walz is scum. Less than scum, getting 65 likes. Here. Let's see. Aaron Meyer says, data from the Minnesota Department of Health indicate that since Governor Walz was inaugurated in 2019, 8 babies survived abortion attempts in Minnesota. On 5 occasions, no measures were taken to preserve life. On 3 occasions, only comfort care was provided. Jesus. And they got 15 likes, which, yeah, of all the things which, I still can't believe it's controversial. So mentally, morally vacuous. It's hard for me to comprehend people who would think if you have a botched abortion, aka the baby's born healthily, and the parents don't want it, why not just give it up for adoption? And there are millions of people, there are millions of Americans who desperately want a child, but maybe they're having troubles doing it naturally. Maybe they can't. And I mean, you hear about the horror stories of people being on a wait list for years for adoption. There's a huge number of people who really want that. Why not? In this instance, why not just put the baby up for adoption? Again, the baby's already there and alive. I think if the majority of Americans knew those instances occurred, I think well above 50% of the populace would agree that the child should be given up for adoption. And again, there's a hot mic with the senator saying that a couple months ago, and then of course, when it went viral, they said, "Oh no, you're misconstruing my words." Yeah, interesting. Let's see. I'm not seeing, and again, I try to scroll pretty good, and I follow people on the left, in the middle, and the right, and the libertarian. I try to get more of a diverse number of comments, so it's not just an echo chamber. But I'm not seeing a lot of contrarian comments here. And again, don't get me wrong, I'd say 20-30% of America really agrees with what Tim Walz is doing in Minnesota. Again, people there, obviously, they voted for him, they like him. Now, in terms of the overall United States, up to the ninth month, that's pretty radical. You see a lot of the surveys, and granted, those surveys perfect, but usually after 16 weeks, that's when a lot of people just aren't comfortable with, and a lot of people don't support abortions. That's seemed to be, and again, I don't think there's really a rhyme or reason on that. A lot of people just have that gut check moment, but I understand the arguments on both sides. I certainly, I certainly don't agree with those late-term abortions at all, just in general. But yeah, it's I can't think. I wonder if this will actually hurt him politically speaking. It's going to be, say, I don't think it'll end his political career. I mean, if anything, maybe it'll get him reelected in Minnesota. I mean, but yeah, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, abortion is one of the most controversial things in the United States. It's one of the biggest topics for the upcoming election. And even though, again, it shouldn't be, it's a state's issue, and it's not going to change on a federal level. And again, Trump has said for the umpteenth time he's not going to pass any regulations, not if he could, around the topic, if he were to get elected president. But they keep, spewing these lies out. I mean, do you think, if anything, do you think this actually helped him actually raise more money from leftists or people who want up to the ninth month? Or do you think it'll alienate some people in the middle who, don't really feel comfortable with that? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Kamala Harris going viral in her response to the question, should people stand for the national anthem? Which, I mean, anyone with modicum of intelligence or, patriot would say, well, yes, 110%, you're American, right? Why wouldn't you stand up for the song that unites all of us? They're similar to, why wouldn't you salute the American flag? But I partially digress. We'll hear what they have to say. This comes to us thanks to Janita Broderick over on the good old X Twitter. She says, quote, reporter, should people stand for the national anthem? Comrade Kamala, word salad from this moron asking no sense whatsoever. Holy F. At least the interviewer, he did something right. He did suit up, as all men should. And this thing goes as far as I thought. I got 350,000 views. Hear what they have to say.
Should folks stand for the national anthem?
I think that one of the beautiful things about our country is that we were founded on certain principles that we articulated in 1776. We are all and should be treated as equals. We articulated those principles in our Constitution.
She doesn't believe that. That's why she wants to give people money for houses arbitrarily. She doesn't want to give that equally. She does not believe that at all. They gave government resources to people based on things they can't control, like their race and gender. So she doesn't believe what she's saying.
And part of what we decided is what makes a fair and just and noble society and a democracy, a true democracy, is freedom of religion, freedom, right, of association, freedom to organize, First Amendment. So that is part of who we are as a country. And I will defend it to the core, which is that we give people certain choices in this country.
Should folks stand for the
politicians in general, including those on the right, are terrible at actually, answering the damn question. But yeah, of course she can't answer it. That's above, I don't know, it's above her pay grade. Well, actually, no, she's making, I don't know how much she's making right now. Whatever it is too much. Way too much. But yeah, she couldn't just say, yes, if you're American, yeah. I mean, my 3 cents used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation. Should you stand for the national anthem? Yes. As an American, it's your right to not, but morally and culturally, yes, you should. There's a time when most Americans all, unified by that song, by that flag. Unfortunately, those times are, that number of folks doing that are decreasing, which is another cause for concern in terms of the cultural, political decay in the United States. But yeah, it's a word salad. And this is why she gives so few interviews, and why I suspect, they just want her. It's a appeasement campaign. If Democrats have won before, look at Biden's. Last election, Biden went out the cave or out of the basement like 2 times, still won. But yeah, this is why they don't want Kamala Harris to talk or do any interviews, because she crashes and burns terribly. Now, going to the top comments here, you also have someone by the name of Charlie Kirk, very famous, of course, who says, should be one word answer. Yes, getting 323. Let's make it 324 likes. Flo says she has no answers to anything, getting 108 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Let's see. Oh, jeez. ATX Irish Gal says, just a reminder, this is how Kamala started off. There's only so much you can do with that ho-ho. It's the picture of a parrot, and it's making the gesture of the parrot puts its hand to its beak, and yeah, it just goes up and down, simulating what, although, fact check not right, parrot is not on its knees, so, I don't know how, I don't think it'll pass muster. Did you get 203 likes, though? You have Joe Zekin saying, at this point, if you vote for this, you're diagnosed with a mental disorder, getting 248 likes. Yes, somebody named Sam J saying, Kamala hates America. A vote for Kamala is a vote to destroy America forever. We won't come back for another 4 years of this. It's a picture, also accompanied with a picture of an American flag. There's a quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes saying, one flag, one land, one heart, one hand, one nation, evermore. Getting 98 likes. Well, it should get 908 likes. Louise USA says she gives the wrong answer. Kamala is another Colin Kaepernick who disrespects the national anthem. No one wants him on their team because he's a terrible maker. It's not complicated to Kamala. It's a national anthem stand getting 101 likes, which, I mean, Colin Kaepernick, I mean, he makes all his money from political activism, not talent on the field. I mean, you can even throw that pigskin more than once or twice. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. America memed. No, they didn't give us a meme. It's just text response. A little disappointed giving that profile name. It says, quote, another principle to destroy every fabric of this nation was built on. Getting 26 likes. Let's see. Buddy Allen says, I love Kamala Harris. She is not fit to be president of the United States. This woman will destroy this country. World War III is right around the corner with her. She has depleted the strategic oil reserve before election and dismantled the military. We'll be toast if we have a strike. Getting 89 likes. Someone has an AI picture of Kamala standing from a crowd with the communism or the hammer and sickle logos from the Soviet Union. This person's called Black Man for Trump said, her dad is a communist professor. Why are we surprised at this behavior from this Indian lady? Getting 22 likes. Which, yeah. Someone actually counted it out. T-Bone says, 238 words, just say no. Getting 28 likes, which that would be a lot more transparent. Let's see. Rhonda Lynn says, dancing around the issue without addressing the question shall be henceforth called the Harris Walls. Got 1 like, but I'll give it 2 likes. I thought it was moderately amusing. Let's see. So yeah, it's one of those easy. It's almost like a softball question, and she still fumbled it. There's an AI picture of her pulling a salad. It's called Word Salad. That's from Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I mean, there's a certain cliche softball question in politics where everyone just answers the same thing, like, "What are you focused on? We're going to get America back to work," which they all say. Yeah, it's true. We need more jobs. But yeah, she even fumbled this question, which just highlights her ineptitude, in my opinion. I mean, it blows my mind. But again, there are a lot. I almost wonder if it even matters. She could pretty much say or do anything at this point, I think, because a lot of people, a big party line is vote blue no matter who. And a lot of I've met some of these folks and they just don't care. I mean, they can't even name her policies. It's just, oh yeah, we think Democrats are better running the country. And that'd be a good question for the comments. Do you think it matters what she says or does anymore? Do you think the votes are all locked in? People are just going to vote already? It's not going to be swayed? Let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Tesla Cybertruck having its 5th recall, which, it's not great for the iconic, funny-looking truck. Now, this brought to us thanks to Reuters, specifically David Shepardson, who's a writer over there. And here you can see the iconic Tesla truck, which, yeah, it took me a fraction of a second. At a quick glance, I couldn't tell if it was facing the front of the truck or the rear of the truck, but it is in fact looking at the rear truck. You can see the outline of the little bumper there. Now, again, this is David Jefferson. They say, quote, Tesla recalls over 27,000 Cybertrucks in 5th callback this year, which, damn, that's adding up. Now they say, quote, this recall is due to a delay in the rear view camera images that could impair driver visibility and increase car risks, which, yeah, we're getting too soft. Back in my day, we didn't have any of those fancy rear cameras. You just turned it around your head and looked. Now, they say, quote, this is the 5th recall issued by Tesla for the 2024 Cybertruck since January. Tesla is issuing a software update to address the issue, which, in my opinion, again, should be 3 cents, but 3 cents, 40-year hyperinflation, so it's got to be 3 cents. My 3 cents on this, it shouldn't count as recall. And again, all the automotive manufacturers, I think the rule should be the same for everyone. If it's an EV where, well, I guess I could joke it should be a recall by default because it doesn't have 3 pedals, so it's an EV, but I partially jest. If he doesn't have to go back to the factory, it doesn't have to go to a dealership to be physically worked on, and all it takes is a software update, I don't think that should be in the same realm of statistics as a recall where you have to have it go to a physical dealership and they actually have to swap out parts or build new parts or do anything that is long and cumbersome and, quite frankly, inconvenient for the end user. I mean, it's almost like getting your phone updated overnight. Now, they say, quote, the latest recall affect most U.S. Cybertrucks is one of the biggest, one of the 5 for the electric truck this year. Tesla issued a recall in April to fix a loose accelerator pedal, which, that one I do agree. That was a recall. They had to actually get a new, I believe they just had to use a rivet gun, but again, they had to make sure the actual pedal didn't fall off, which, again, that's a business blunder in and of itself. I think I covered that earlier this year as well. And they say, quote, the electric vehicle maker started making deliveries of the Cybertruck in 2023 after a 2-year delay. because of all the issues, including the battery supply constraints. Now, let's see here. In terms of breaking this down, now they say, quote, the automaker said the Cybertruck system in the affected vehicles may not complete a shutdown process before it is commanded to boot up, resulting in delay in displaying the rear view image. They say, quote, it has had 45 warranty claims in 4 field reports that may be related to the recall, but no reports of collisions, fatalities, or injuries related to the issue, which, again, that's a good heaven send. It's not, that's always when you get, well, not just bad publicity, but also morally, you have a duty to make a reliable vehicle and one that's safe. And thankfully, this is ahead of the, I don't think, honestly, I don't think the odds are high in terms of this ever being a big safety issue of a recall. But again, it's good that they got ahead of the issue and there's nothing detrimental that's happened thus far. Again, they say the image may not appear within 2 seconds of placing the vehicle in reverse, and the display may appear blank or up to 6 to 8 seconds when the vehicle is shifted into reverse. Which, talk about first world problems. You can't wait a couple extra seconds. Also, we didn't have rear view cameras until a couple years ago, thanks to the government forcing it on us. But yeah, still though, people are getting fed up. A lot of people do not like just the fact that it's called a recall. And again, it's the 5th one already for the truck, which is, I mean, thanks to Whistling Diesel, people have seen how they're not as quite robust and durable as a traditional truck. I mean, it's already a little bit more bad news. So I gotta say, Tesla having the recall, again, it's just an over the wire, over the air fix. Gotta say, Tesla, that Cybertruck recall is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.